So this video, this is going to be probably a bitch to edit. All right, let's do this. I've been wanting to make this video probably since I started this channel, and I just couldn't until now. But I went on my Tumblr today and I said joyfully that today, or 2014, is 5 years from when I have last been on hormonal birth control, and I'm so happy about that. 5 years birth control free. I couldn't be happier. And that's pretty much what I want to talk to you guys today about, is my experience with hormonal birth control, and obviously it was not a good experience, and how I feel being 5 years birth control free, and hopefully hearing my experience will help you make your own decisions about what you want to do in terms of hormonal birth control, whether you want to take it or not. So when I was in my junior year of college, I decided that I wanted to get on hormonal birth control, and this was not an uncommon thing. If you've been to college, you know that every girl in college is pretty much on some kind of a pill or patch or something. They just basically hand it out like candy. Everyone's on it for one reason or another. I personally, the biggest reason I wanted to get on it was because I had really bad cramps. It had gotten to the point where I had asked to go home from work early a few days because they were just so bad that I couldn't work, and it was affecting my life. So I had heard that, you know, birth control is like cure-all for everything. Cures acne, cures cramps, just is great and wonderful, and it was always pushed on me kind of that it was this great thing that I should probably be on. So I went to the gynecologist and I got on Lowestrin 24, which was the pill that they advertised back in those days, like 2007 days, that was supposed to give you shorter periods every month. It had more active pills per month than those pills at the end of the month, the 1 week that has no hormones. This one had less of those no hormones pills, so you were supposed to get shorter periods. And it was true, I did have shorter periods. Actually, I was on that pill for about a year, and it was okay. I didn't have that many side effects, except for as the year went on, I basically stopped getting my periods at all, which some women would be like, yay, I don't have any periods, this is great. But for me, it was weird. It felt weird. It made me nervous. Like, even if I knew there was no possible way I could be pregnant, it would just make me feel like I was pregnant. Like, it was weird to me. I didn't like it. And so at my year appointment, that, and it was giving me some breakouts too, like hormonal breakouts around my mouth and my chin, which I get now anyway. I get hormonal breakouts, but then I wasn't supposed to be getting them because I was on the pill and supposedly my hormones were regulated, right? But I was getting them anyway. So you can tell I'm like nervous about making this video. I'm like, okay. At my year appointment, I went to the gynecologist again and I asked her to change my pill to something else, maybe something that would work better, that I would maybe start getting my periods again because it was freaking me out. So she switched me to orthotricycline low, which I know a lot of people take, or at least a lot of people took it back when I was in college. Like, a lot of my friends were on it, didn't have any problems with it, and I was like, okay, I've heard of that. Sounds great, I will try that. So in about January of 2009, I switched my birth control to orthotricycline low. It wasn't like there was a break in between. I just went from one pill to another pill and didn't think much of it. Again, things were okay for a couple of months. But then in around March of 2009, after I had been taking this new pill for a few months, I started to notice that my eyes were being weird. Like, I had worn contacts since 8th grade, and this was in now senior year of college, and never had any problem with them. I had worn contacts that were 2-week contacts that you wore for 2 weeks straight and then threw them out and then started a new pair. And I would wear them like from when I got up in the morning, no matter when that was. I would wake up in bed, put them in bed until when I went to bed at night. So it could be 12 hours, 14 hours, whatever, and never had a problem with them. My eyes were never dry. It was fine. I didn't even think about it. Starting in March of 2009, that changed. I had really dry eyes and painful eyes sometimes. When I would take my contacts out, they would be all red and bloodshot. And even worse than that is I started to have double vision. I was driving, and I kind of noticed this, but I was almost second guessing myself, like, why would I possibly be having double vision? I was driving to college from home one day. I was driving back to school, and I was on the Belt Parkway going to Staten Island, and I noticed that I could see the dotted line in between the lanes of the highway, and it was double. I saw 2 dotted lines next to each other, and that's when I knew, like, this is not normal. Something is wrong with my eyes. So basically, from that point, I started going to eye doctors. I went to my first eye doctor that I had always gone to, and I told him, well, I'm having a lot of problems with my contacts, my eyes are dry, I'm seeing double vision, I feel like my vision is worse. And he confirmed that yes, my vision did get worse. I did more poorly on my vision test than I had in the previous like 4 or 5 years. My prescription had been the same, but all of a sudden my eyes had gotten significantly worse. I needed a new prescription, and he said I shouldn't even be driving with the glasses that I was wearing currently because they were not the right prescription anymore. Basically, he told me I was wearing my contacts too much and that was ruining my eyes. However, I had worn my contacts like all the time for years and years and years, never had a problem before, but now I was having problems. So basically, he told me, quit wearing your contacts so much, wear your glasses more, you need a new prescription, blah, 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 blah. This wasn't really enough for me because I knew something else was going on. So I backtracked and I thought about what I had changed in my routine, if anything, that was making my eyes this way, if I had changed my diet, if I had changed something. And the only thing that I had changed was my birth control pill. And I researched and I found out that birth control can actually change the shape of your cornea. Just like how sometimes pregnant women, their eyesight changes because their cornea will change because of the hormones during pregnancy. I guess birth control can do that to you too. So the birth control was warping my cornea. And every eye doctor that I went to, I didn't just go to the one, I went to a few, they all denied that this could happen. It happened to me. So as soon as I figured that out, I immediately stopped taking the pill. I stopped taking my birth control cold turkey. I just stopped taking it. Jasper wants to come talk too, I guess. I don't know. So I guess I stopped taking it probably in like April, my birth control pill. My eyes didn't get any better right away. It was a long process for them getting better. They're better now, but it took a while for them to get back to normal. But that's not the end of the story. Unfortunately, it's not. So in May of my senior year of college, I was graduating college. Yay, I graduated May 2009, class of 2009. The night before my graduation ceremony was one of the scariest nights of my life because I was laying in bed and I was just kind of running my fingers through my hair like this, and all of a sudden it just felt not right. And if you're a girl, you know exactly what your hair feels like, what the density feels like all over your head. And it just felt like I had spots that were really thin, like bald spots. Of course, it didn't look like bald spots in the mirror, but I could tell that I had spots that were not right, that were really thin. So my entire graduation day was spent stressing over the fact that I was going bald. Like, I thought something was wrong with me, I thought I was going bald, and it was stressing me out to the point that I didn't even enjoy my graduation day at all because this was all I was thinking about. At some point, my hair had started falling out. I'm assuming that it had probably been falling out since about March, but because I have a lot of hair, I had not really noticed. My hair always sheds a decent amount, so when I lost hair in the shower or when I was brushing it, I probably didn't notice for a while until it actually started to feel thinner. And that was probably around May. Well, that was when I first realized it. So after I graduated, that whole summer, I was stressing about my hair. I was researching online. I was finding out why could this be happening to me. And basically, through my own research, I found out that when you discontinue birth control, or in my case, when you switch birth control pills, one of them had very different hormones from the other one. The drastic change in hormones can cause you to have hair loss, and that's what I was going through. However, when they say that this happens, it's called telogen effluvium. I think that's how you pronounce it. They say that it's supposed to last like 3 to 6 months and your hair should be all grown back within a year. That didn't happen to me. I had a really, really bad experience with this birth control induced hair loss. I had my hair falling out constantly. Like, I constantly had hairs all over me for about a year. So from 2009 until 2010, my first year of grad school, I lost about 40%, I'd say, between 30 and 40% of my total hair. and it was diffuse, so it was all over my head. Like, it just looked like my ponytail was much thinner. It wasn't any one spot, although in the front, in my hairline, it was very jagged because of the hair loss up in front, which was more obvious. But it was something I dealt with every single day for a year. And when it's happening to you every single day for a year, it made me go like kind of crazy. Like it's very kind of shallow to think that your appearance and your hair means that much to you. But when you're a woman and you've had one head of hair your whole life, and then suddenly you have this whole other head of hair that's just not what you want, and it's thinner, and there's nothing you can do about it, nothing's stopping the hair from falling out. It is just, it's not something I would wish on my worst enemy, and I take that seriously. I would not wish it on anyone. And they say if it goes past 6 months of hair loss, that it could be permanent hair loss. It could be something genetic, it could be whatever. But if you have telogen effluvium, it's supposed to be short-term hair loss followed by a rapid regrowth. Well, for me, I lost my hair for a year, and I basically didn't see any recovery for another year. So my hair fell out for a year, and then in 2010, I started to recover. So I wasn't losing as much hair, and I started getting like baby hairs growing back in slowly. But it took probably another year after that. So probably 2011. So from 2009 to 2011, I had abnormal hair. In 2011, I felt like my hair was finally getting back to normal. And that's why if you look on Leviosa, my other channel, if you look on Leviosa, I made almost no videos between 2009 and 2011 because I felt like shit. Like, I felt shit about myself. I thought I was ugly. I thought that everyone could tell, even though no one ever mentioned anything to me about it. I felt like everyone could tell because I could tell. And I felt ugly, and I didn't want to make videos, and it was terrible. Like, it was terrible. I know that my experience is kind of rare, which is a good thing, but because of all the bad things that happened to me because of this pill that I took for only a year and a half, I took this pill, and it affected my life for so long afterwards with all the bad effects from it. I just want to caution people really about jumping on something like hormones, because I feel like they do give it out like candy. Like, they just tell you it's a cure-all, and it's really not. And it has so many side effects, some of them that you probably never even heard of. Like, I had never heard of your eyesight changing or your hair falling out from birth control. Like, I knew that your breast could hurt, or you could be moody, or, you know, other things. Even breakouts I had heard of, but I had never heard of these side effects, the ones that happened to me. At the same time, I know that I'm not alone. I went to the internet and I found a lot of other girls and women that this had happened to, thank God, because I felt like so alone, and I was so embarrassed of what was happening to me because I didn't know anyone else that it was happening to. I was 22, 23 years old, and I felt like I was going bald. Like, it was not normal, and it was not right, and I was so angry that finding people on the internet going through the same thing as me really it helped, which is why I finally wanted to come clean and make this video, because if anyone finds this video that's currently going through what I went through and sees that I've recovered, there was so long when I thought that I was gonna be either go bald or just never have the hair back that I used to have, and I do. I have it back, which is like amazing. The fact that I can make hair videos on this channel and not feel totally self-conscious about how my hair looks, like, I never thought that I would get to that point. That is amazing to me, and I really contribute that to the fact that I did not jump back on hormones. A lot of people would say, oh, your hair starts falling out when you go off birth control, get back on it, you know, replenish the hormones. But it took a long time for my body to purge out all the bad stuff and start doing its own cycle again. And yes, I still have cramps. Do I care? No. Like, I will deal with the cramps. I just can't. I couldn't imagine ever going back on something that was doing that to my body. 5 years hormonal birth control free. Yeah, I really couldn't be happier. And for those people who are saying, you know, well, it's safer to go on hormonal birth control because it's effective for preventing pregnancy. Yeah, it is. But I feel like you have other options that are hormone free that people don't really take seriously. Even condoms, people don't take seriously. They're actually really effective as long as you use them properly. And yeah, sometimes a condom can break, but that's why they have emergency contraception and Plan B and things like that. Those are hormones too, but I feel like if something happens where you have to take that, it's much less of a chance that you will have to take hormones than if you're actively putting them in your body every day and you just don't know what they're doing to your body. So basically this is the video to reach out to anyone that's struggling with anything hormonal related, hair loss, eyesight, whatever other terrible side effects you could have had from something like this. My heart goes out to you, and also just to educate people on what can happen and just really research all your options before jumping on something just because it feels like everyone else is on it, it's safe, you know, you never truly know. And having your own body regulate your own hormones, I feel like is a really important thing. I think it's something that we take for granted. If you have any other experiences or questions about my experience, just leave them down in the comments below. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about this. I'm not a doctor. I've done a lot of research in this area, but I'm not a doctor, and only you can make your own decisions. But I'm just putting my opinion out there, and woo, 5 years hormone free, yay! Yeah, I'm gonna go. Thank you if you got this far in the video for watching. And if this is the first video you are ever seeing from me, I normally do much more upbeat fashion and beauty and other types of videos on this channel, so feel free to subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Bye.